Discovery and Deception. Dr. Ilara Chen squinted at the holographic display, her eyes burning from hours of unblinking focus. The lab hummed with the soft whir of quantum processors, but Ilara barely noticed. Her attention was fixed on an anomaly in the human genome that shouldn't exist. "This can't be right," she muttered, running a hand through her disheveled black hair. "Araya, run the sequence analysis again." The lab's AI responded in its usual calm tone. "Analysis complete, Dr. Chen. Results are consistent with previous iterations. The anomaly persists." Ilara leaned back in her chair, mind racing. She'd been studying human DNA for years, searching for ways to enhance human resilience against diseases. But this was something else entirely. A sequence that looked almost engineered, dormant in every human sample she'd analyzed. A soft chime interrupted her thoughts. "Dr. Chen, you have a priority message from the United Earth government." Ilara frowned. The UEG rarely contacted individual scientists directly. "Display message, ARIA." A holographic screen materialized, showing the stern face of General Xander Vance. "Dr. Chen, your presence is required immediately at UEG headquarters. A car is waiting outside. This is a matter of global security." The message ended abruptly, leaving Ilara stunned. She glanced at her workstation, then at the door. Whatever was happening, it had to be connected to her discovery. She quickly encrypted her findings and headed out. The ride to UEG HQ was a blur of neon-lit streets and towering arcologies. Ilara's mind raced with possibilities. Had someone else discovered the anomaly? Was she in trouble? Upon arrival, she was ushered into a high-security conference room. General Vance was there, along with a collection of grim-faced military and scientific personnel. But what caught Ilara's attention was the being standing at the far end of the room. It was undeniably alien. Tall and lithe, with iridescent skin and large, multifaceted eyes. Ilara felt a mix of awe and trepidation as the creature regarded her with an unreadable expression. General Vance cleared his throat. "Dr. Chen, thank you for coming. What I'm about to tell you is classified at the highest level." He gestured to the alien. "This is Ambassador Zix of the Zarkin Collective. Humanity is not alone in the universe, and we are on the brink of war." Ilara's scientific mind warred with the sheer impossibility of the situation. I don't understand. What does this have to do with me?" The alien, Zix, spoke. Its voice was melodious yet unsettling. "Your work, Dr. Chen, has brought you dangerously close to uncovering a secret that could change the course of the coming conflict." General Vance nodded. "The anomaly you've discovered in human DNA, it's not natural. Our species was engineered long ago by a race we know only as the precursors." Ilara's world tilted on its axis. Engineered. But why? "As a weapon," Zix said, multifaceted eyes gleaming. "Against us." Over the next hour, Ilara learned the impossible truth. The galaxy was embroiled in a long-standing war between the Zarkin and various allied species. Earth, long thought to be a primitive backwater, was actually a hidden superweapon created by the precursors. "The Zarkin have been searching for Earth for millennia," General Vance explained. "They finally found us. But thanks to Ambassador Zix's faction, we've been given a chance to activate our potential and join the galactic community." Ilara's scientific skepticism warred with the evidence before her. "And you want me to find a way to activate these dormant genes?" Zix nodded. "Your work has brought you closer than anyone to understanding the precursor modifications. With our assistance, you could unlock humanity's true potential." As Ilara processed this, alarms suddenly blared throughout the facility. General Vance's communicator crackled to life. "Sir, we're under attack. It's the Zarkin." Chaos erupted in the conference room. Through the windows, Ilara saw sleek, otherworldly ships descending from the sky, unleashing destruction on the city. Ambassador Zix's form shimmered, revealing a different, more menacing alien appearance. "Fools," it snarled in a guttural voice. Did you really think we allow you to unlock your power? As UEG security forces rushed in, Ilara found herself at the center of an interstellar conflict. The deception was revealed. The Zarkan had infiltrated Earth, playing both sides to prevent humanity from realizing its true strength. In that moment, as energy weapons flared and the future of humanity hung in the balance, Dr. Ilara Chen knew that her discovery was more than just a scientific anomaly. It was the key to humanity's survival. The battle for Earth, and the secret locked within human DNA, had begun. The hidden potential. The weeks following the Zarkan attack were a blur of frantic activity. Dr. Ilara Chen found herself working around the clock in a secret underground facility, racing against time to unlock the potential hidden within human DNA. Another failure, Ilara muttered, tossing aside a holographic readout. The lab was littered with discarded simulations and failed experiments. She rubbed her tired eyes, the weight of humanity's fate heavy on her shoulders. Captain Maya Rodriguez, the military liaison assigned to the project, approached with a steaming cup of coffee. "You need to rest, Doc. You're no good to anyone if you burn out." Ilara accepted the coffee gratefully. "Thanks, Maya. But every minute we waste is another minute the Zarkan have to prepare their invasion force." Maya's expression hardened. "Trust me, I know. My team is out there right now, hunting down the remaining Zarkan infiltrators. But this," she gestured to the lab, "this is our real chance at survival." As if to underscore her point, alarms suddenly blared throughout the facility. Maya's hand went to her weapon. "Perimeter breach. Stay here. I'll." The lab door exploded inward in a shower of metal and sparks. Through the smoke strode a towering Zarkan warrior, its chitinous armor gleaming under the emergency lights. Maya opened fire, her plasma rounds sizzling against the alien shields. The Zarkan responded with a barrage from its own weapon, forcing Maya and Ilara to dive for cover. "The research," Ilara cried out, seeing her workstation in the line of fire. Maya gritted her teeth. "I'll draw its fire. You grab what you need and run." Before Ilara could protest, Maya vaulted over their cover, unleashing a steady stream of fire at the Zarkan. The alien's attention shifted, giving Ilara the opening she needed. Heart pounding, she scrambled to her workstation, frantically downloading her latest findings onto a portable drive. A stray shot from the Zarkan's weapon struck nearby, showering her with debris. "Ilara, go!" Maya shouted, her weapons charge depleting rapidly. With the drive secured, Ilara ran for the emergency exit. She cast one last glance back, just in time to see Maya tackle the Zarkan in a desperate grapple. The door sealed shut behind her, muffling the sounds of combat. Hours later, in a secondary facility, Ilara stood before General Vance and what remained of Earth's leadership. Her hands shook as she delivered her report. "Despite the attack, we've made progress," she explained, bringing up a holographic model of the human genome. "The precursors didn't just modify our DNA. They created a genetic lock, a safeguard to prevent premature activation." An aged scientist, Dr. Yuvraj Patel, leaned forward. "A lock implies a key, Dr. Chen. Have you found it?" Ilara nodded. "I believe so. It's not a sequence we can simply activate with traditional gene therapy. It requires a specific type of radiation to catalyze the process." General Vance's eyes narrowed. "What kind of radiation?" "That's the problem," Ilara said. "It doesn't exist naturally on Earth. But based on my calculations, we could find it." "Where?" Vance pressed. Ilara took a deep breath. "In the heart of a dying star." The room erupted in murmurs of disbelief. Vance silenced them with a raised hand. "We barely have a functioning orbital defense network, let alone deep space capabilities. How are we supposed to harvest radiation from a star?" As if in answer, the facility's AI chimed in. "Incoming transmission from Luna Base, General. It's Captain Rodriguez." Maya's battered face appeared on the main screen. Behind her, they could see the curved surface of the moon and the wreckage of Zarkan ships. Consider Luna Base secured, sir, Maya reported with a grim smile. And you'll never guess what we found in the Zarkin commander's files. Coordinates to nearby star systems, including a dying star, Ilara finished, hope looming in her chest. Maya nodded, along with schematics for their fold space drives. We can make the journey, General. We have to. General Vance surveyed the room, taking in the mix of fear and determination on every face. Dr. Chen, how quickly can you prep a volunteer for this activation process? Ilara swallowed hard. With the right equipment, a few days. But sir, we have no idea what the effects will be. Whoever volunteers will be taking an enormous risk. I'll do it, Maya said from the screen, her voice unwavering. I've seen what these bastards are capable of. If there's even a chance this can give us an edge, I'm in. Vance nodded solemnly. Very well. Dr. Chen, you'll accompany a team to the star system. Captain Rodriguez will meet you there. The rest of us will hold the line here as best we can. As the meeting adjourned and preparations began, Ilara felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. They were about to attempt something unprecedented, unlocking the hidden potential of the human genome. The next few days were a whirlwind of activity. A captured Zarkan ship was retrofitted for the mission, its fold space drive a marvel of engineering that compressed light years into mere hours of travel. As Ilara made her final checks before departure, she received an unexpected visitor. Dr. Patil approached, his aged face etched with concern. Dr. Chen, a moment of your time, he asked. Ilara nodded, stepping aside with him. What is it, Dr. Patel? The older scientist's voice lowered. I've been reviewing your work, and I have concerns. The power we're attempting to unlock, it's beyond anything we've ever encountered. Are you certain we can control it? Ilara hesitated. The same doubts had plagued her nights. Honestly, I'm not certain of anything anymore. But I do know that without this, humanity doesn't stand a chance. Patel nodded slowly. Just be careful, my dear. Power of this magnitude, it changes things. It changes people. Promise me you'll proceed with caution. Before Ilara could respond, the launch countdown began. With a final nod to Dr. Patel, she boarded the ship, his warning echoing in her mind. As the captured Zarkan vessel rose from Earth's surface, Ilara watched her home planet recede. Somewhere out there, amid the vast cosmic ocean, lay the key to humanity's survival, and perhaps its transformation. The ship's fold space drive hummed to life, and in a flash of otherworldly energy, they were gone, embarking on a journey that would either save humanity or unleash something beyond their control. Escalation and resistance. The dying star loomed before them, a swollen red giant casting an eerie glow across the bridge of the commandeered Zarkan ship. Dr. Ilara Chen stood transfixed, both awed and terrified by the cosmic spectacle. Beautiful, isn't it? Captain Maya Rodriguez said, joining her at the viewport. Hard to believe something so magnificent could be the key to our survival. Ilara nodded, tearing her gaze away from the star to look at Maya. The captain's eyes now held a faint otherworldly glow, a side effect of the preliminary treatments they'd begun during the journey. How are you feeling? Ilara asked, unable to keep the concern from her voice. Maya flexed her hand, watching as faint lines of energy briefly flickered beneath her skin. Different. Stronger. Like there's a storm building inside me, just waiting to be unleashed. Before Ilara could respond, alarms blared throughout the ship. The tactical officer, Lieutenant Jae-sun Kim, called out from his station. Multiple fold space signatures detected. Zarkan warships incoming. How did they find us? Maya demanded, rushing to the command chair. Ilara's mind raced. The radiation from the star. They must have detected our approach. The bridge erupted into a flurry of activity as the crew prepared for battle. Through the viewport, Ilara watched as sleek Zarkan vessels materialized from fold space, their weapons already charging. We can't fight them all, Jae-sun reported grimly. Our shields won't hold against that kind of firepower. Maya's eyes narrowed, the ethereal glow intensifying. We don't need to fight them all. We just need to get Dr. Chen close enough to this star to collect the catalyst radiation. She turned to Ilara. How close? Ilara quickly consulted her instruments. Within the corona. But the heat and radiation will kill anyone exposed, Maya finished. She stood, determination etched on her face. Not me. Not anymore. I'll go. Maya, no. Ilara protested. The treatment isn't complete. We have no idea what that level of exposure will do to you. The ship rocked as the first volley of Zarkan weapons fire struck their shields. Maya placed a hand on Ilara's shoulder, her touch electric with untapped energy. We're out of options and out of time, she said softly. This is why I volunteered, Ilara, to give humanity a fighting chance. Before anyone could stop her, Maya strode towards the airlock. Ilara watched in horror and amazement as the captain's body began to glow, somehow withstanding the vacuum of space as she propelled herself towards the dying star. On the bridge, Jae-sun coordinated a desperate defense, using the ship's limited weapons to keep the Zarkan at bay. Ilara divided her attention between monitoring Maya's vital signs and preparing the ship's storage systems to receive the catalyst radiation. Minutes stretched into an eternity. The ship's shields were failing, hull breaches reported on multiple decks. And then, energy spike. Jae-sun shouted, "Something's happening to the star." Ilara watched in awe as tendrils of stellar matter reached out, as if drawn to Maya's glowing form. For a moment, captain and star became one. A blinding flash, forcing everyone to shield their eyes. However, Xyloxa continued, a note of concern in their melodious voice. We must address the matter of your evolution. The power your kind now wields is unprecedented. Some members of the Alliance fear it could upset the balance of the galaxy. Ilara felt the weight of every eye in the room upon her. As the architect of humanity's transformation, she knew her words would carry significant weight. Ambassador, she began, her voice steady. The power we've unlocked was always within us, placed there by the precursors as a safeguard against threats like the Zarkan. We didn't choose this path, but now that we're on it, we intend to use our abilities responsibly. And how can we be assured of that? A reptilian delegate hissed from across the table. Before Ilara could respond, a commotion outside the conference room caught everyone's attention. The doors burst open, and a familiar figure strode in, trailing wisps of stellar energy. Captain Rodriguez, General Vance exclaimed, rising to his feet. We weren't expecting you to. Maya raised a hand, silencing him. Her eyes, still glowing with inner fire, swept the room before settling on the alien delegates. You want assurances? She asked, her voice resonating with power. I'll give you one. I've seen the heart of a dying star, felt the power of creation and destruction flow through me. And do you know what I learned? The room was silent, all attention focused on Maya. I learned that with great power comes not just great responsibility, but great perspective. We humans aren't interested in conquering the galaxy or upsetting its balance. We simply want to protect our home and contribute to a peaceful cosmos. As she spoke, Ilara noticed something extraordinary. The energy emanating from Maya seemed to reach out, touching each person in the room. Ilara's enhanced senses allowed her to see the subtle genetic shifts occurring. Not a transformation, but an awakening of dormant potential. Ambassador Xyloxa had gasped, their luminescent skin glowing brighter. What is happening? Ilara stood, understanding dawning. The precursors didn't just engineer humans, she explained, excitement building in her voice. They seeded the potential for this evolution throughout all sentient life in the galaxy. We're not an anomaly. We're the key to unlocking the next stage of galactic evolution. The implications of this revelation rippled through the room. Fear and apprehension gave way to wonder and possibility. In the days that followed, Earth became a center of galactic cooperation. Scientists from across the cosmos came to study the activation process, working alongside humans to unlock the potential within their own species. But with this new era came new challenges. Ethical debates raged over the use and distribution of the activation treatment. Some feared it would create an unbridgeable gap between enhanced and non-enhanced individuals. Others worried about the potential for misuse of these godlike powers. Ilara found herself at the center of these debates, working tirelessly to ensure that the gift of the precursors was used wisely and ethically. She established the Stellar Academy, a school dedicated to training enhanced individuals from all species to control and use their abilities responsibly. Maya, fully recovered and more powerful than ever, took on the role of Earth's defender and galactic peacekeeper. She led missions to liberate worlds still under Zarkan control and helped mediate conflicts between species as they grappled with their newfound abilities. Years passed, and the face of the galaxy changed. Faster than light travel, once the domain of only the most advanced species, became commonplace as enhanced individuals learned to manipulate the fabric of space-time. Diseases that had plagued civilizations for eons were cured as geneticists like Ilara unlocked the secrets of life itself. But perhaps the most profound change was philosophical. As species after species awakened to their true potential, old enmities and prejudices began to fade. A sense of galactic unity emerged, born from the shared experience of transformation and the understanding that all sentient life was fundamentally connected. On the 10th anniversary of the Zarkan defeat, Ilara stood once again at the window of the Global Genetics Council, now expanded into the Galactic Genetics Consortium. The new Geneva skyline had transformed, a harmonious blend of human and alien architecture reaching towards the stars. Maya joined her, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Quite a view," she said, echoing Yuvraj's words from years ago. Ilara smiled, turning to face her friend. "Sometimes I still can't believe how far we've come." "Come." Maya grinned, her eyes twinkling with the light of distant stars. "Ilara, we've only just begun." As they looked out at the bustling city, turning the tide, the Rocky Mountain facility buzzed with frantic energy as Dr. Ilara Chen and her team worked around the clock to synthesize and distribute the gene activation treatment. Time was running out. Zarkan forces were converging on their location, drawn by the unique energy signature of Captain Maya Rodriguez. "How much longer?" General Vance demanded, his normally stoic demeanor cracking under the pressure. Ilara wiped sweat from her brow, checking the latest batch of treatments. "We're ready for the first wave of volunteers. But, sir, we still don't fully understand." "We're out of time for understanding, Doctor," Vance interrupted. "The Zarkan superweapon will be in position within 48 hours. We need an army of enhanced humans now." As if to underscore his point, the facility shook with a distant explosion. Maya, who had been standing silently in a corner, her presence causing nearby equipment to spark and malfunction, stepped forward. "I'll lead the first wave," she said, her voice resonating with power. "Show them how to control their abilities." Ilara wanted to protest, to insist on more time for testing, but the grim determination on Maya and Vance's faces told her it was futile. With a heavy heart, she began administering the treatment to the gathered volunteers, a mix of soldiers, scientists, and civilians, all willing to risk everything for a chance to save their world. The next few hours were chaos. As the treatment took effect, the volunteers began manifesting abilities, some similar to Maya's stellar manipulation, others entirely unique. The facility became a crucible of raw, untamed power. Lieutenant Jae-Sun Kim, one of the first to receive the treatment, found himself able to perceive and manipulate electromagnetic fields. Dr. Yuvraj Patel, despite his advanced age, volunteered and discovered he could now interface directly with technology, his mind moving at the speed of data. But not all transformations went smoothly. Some volunteers struggled to control their newfound powers, their bodies and minds overwhelmed by the changes. Ilara worked tirelessly to stabilize them, her own untreated DNA allowing her to approach even the most volatile cases. As the first wave of enhanced humans prepared to face the Zarkin, Ilara made a decision. She approached General Vance, a syringe of the treatment in hand. "Sir," she said, her voice firm, "I need to be out there with them. I'm the one who understands this process best." Vance's eyes widened. "Dr. Chen, you're too valuable. If something goes wrong, then I'll be right there to fix it," Ilara finished. Before he could protest further, she injected herself with the treatment. The change was immediate and overwhelming. Ilara felt as if her consciousness had expanded, touching the very fabric of reality. She could see the quantum dance of particles, the ebb and flow of cosmic energies. For a moment, she feared she would lose herself in the vastness of it all. A hand on her shoulder anchored her. Maya stood there, a knowing smile on her face. "Breathe, Ilara. Focus on your core self. The power is a tool, not your essence." Slowly, Ilara regained control. As her vision cleared, she realized she could perceive the genetic structure of living things around her, understanding DNA on a level that seemed almost magical. "Incredible," she breathed. Maya nodded. "And now we fight." The battle for Earth began in earnest. Enhanced humans, led by Maya, and now including Ilara, engaged Zarkin forces across the globe. It was a clash of titans, with both sides wielding powers that defied conventional understanding. Jae-sun turned enemy energy weapons against their wielders, his control over electromagnetism proving devastating on the battlefield. Dr. Patil coordinated their efforts from the base, his technopathic abilities allowing him to outmaneuver Zarkin communications and predict their movements. Ilara found her own role, moving between battlefields to stabilize enhanced humans struggling with their powers, and even altering Zarkin biology on the fly, neutralizing enemy combatants without killing them. But the Zarkan were far from defeated. As the battle raged on Earth, their superweapon moved into position near Mars. General Vance's voice crackled over the comms, urgent and grim. "The weapon is powering up," he reported. "Our orbital defenses can't touch it. If that thing fires, it's game over." Maya's eyes met Ilara's, a silent understanding passing between them. "We'll handle it," Maya said. Before Ilara could question how, Maya grabbed her hand. The world blurred around them, and suddenly they were in space, protected by a bubble of Maya's stellar energy. "How," Ilara began, but Maya cut her off. "No time to explain. Can you sense the weapon's genetic lock? It has to be keyed to Zarkin DNA." Ilara focused, her expanded senses reaching out towards the massive Zarkin construct. She could perceive its intricate systems, including a biological component that seemed to be its core. "I see it," she confirmed. "But Maya, even if I could alter it from here, the power required to affect something that size." Maya's grip on her hand tightened. "I've got the power. You've got the precision. Together, we can do this." As the superweapon began to glow with ominous energy, Ilara and Maya combined their abilities. Ilara directed Maya's vast power, using it to rewrite the very genetic code of the weapon's core. The strain was immense. Ilara felt as if her mind was being torn apart, stretched across the cosmic void. Maya's form began to flicker, the energy keeping them alive in the vacuum of space fluctuating dangerously. Just as Ilara thought they would both be consumed by the effort, there was a shift. The superweapon's glow changed from a malevolent red to a soft blue. Alarms blared across the Zarkin fleet as their prized weapon turned against them, its destructive power now keyed to their own genetic signature. In a blinding flash, the superweapon fired. But instead of destroying Earth, it sent out a wave of energy that disabled every Zarkin ship in the solar system. As Maya transported them back to Earth, Ilara saw the Zarkin fleet retreating, their invasion force in disarray. On the planet's surface, the remaining ground forces were quickly being overwhelmed by the enhanced human defenders. They materialized in the Rocky Mountain base to cheers and cries of victory. General Vance approached, awe evident on his face. "You did it," he said simply. Earth is safe. But as the celebration began around them, Elara noticed Maya swaying on her feet. The captain's glow was dimming, her eyes losing their otherworldly light. "Maya?" Elara asked, concern flooding her voice. Maya managed a weak smile. "Used it all up, I think. But it was worth it." As Maya collapsed into Elara's arms, the doctor realized that their victory, while monumental, had come at a great cost. The war might be won, but the challenges facing humanity were far from over. With her enhanced perception, Elara could see the changes rippling through Maya's body, through her own, and through every enhanced human on the planet. They had unlocked the secret hidden in their DNA, but its full implications were yet to be understood. As medical teams rushed to Maya's aid, Elara gazed out at the war-torn but liberated Earth. Humanity had survived its greatest trial, emerging stronger and forever changed. The genetic key had been turned, and the door to a new era of human evolution had been thrown wide open. What lay beyond that door, only time would tell. A new era dawns. The months following the Zarkin defeat were a time of both celebration and uncertainty. As humanity emerged from the shadow of alien invasion, they found themselves facing a new reality, one where the very definition of human was in flux. Dr. Elara Chen stood at the window of the newly established Global Genetics Council, gazing out at the bustling streets of New Geneva. The city, like much of Earth, bore the scars of war, but there was an energy to the reconstruction efforts that spoke of humanity's resilience. "Quite a view, isn't it?" The voice belonged to Dr. Yuvraj Patel, his aged face now bearing an otherworldly glow, a side effect of his technopathic abilities. Elara nodded, turning to face her colleague. "Sometimes I still can't believe we made it." "Made it?" Yuvraj chuckled. "My dear, we've only just begun." Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of General Vance, now serving as Earth's representative to the newly formed Galactic Council. The lines on his face had deepened, but there was a newfound hope in his eyes. "The delegation from the Aldebaran Alliance has arrived," he announced. "They're eager to meet the species that defeated the Zarkin." As they made their way to the conference room, Elara's mind wandered to Maya. The captain had survived her ordeal, but the extreme use of her powers had left her in a coma-like state. The best minds on Earth were working tirelessly to revive her. The conference room was a marvel of human and alien engineering, designed to accommodate a variety of species. As Elara took her seat, she marveled at the diversity before her. Representatives from a dozen alien races sat around the table, their curiosity and apprehension palpable. A tall, ethereal being with luminescent skin stood to address the gathering. "I am Ambassador Zilixa of the Aldebaran Alliance. On behalf of the free worlds of the galaxy, I extend our gratitude and welcome to the people of Earth." General Vance nodded in acknowledgement. "We thank you, Ambassador. Earth is honored to join the galactic community." When the light faded, Maya hung suspended in space, her body pulsing with power. With a gesture, she propelled herself back to the ship, the Zarkin vessels scattering in her wake. As Maya stumbled onto the bridge, Elara rushed to her side. The captain's eyes blazed with inner fire, her every movement leaving trails of energy in the air. "Did it work?" Maya asked, her voice resonating with newfound power. Elara checked her readings, eyes widening. "It's more than we ever imagined. The catalyst radiation, it's bonded with you somehow." A ghost of a smile played on Maya's lips. "Then let's not waste it." Back on Earth, the situation had deteriorated rapidly. Zarkin forces had established footholds on every continent, their superior technology overwhelming humanity's defenses. In the underground remains of Geneva, General Vance coordinated what was left of Earth's military. The bunker shook with distant explosions as he received Elara's transmission. "A living catalyst," he mused, hope and worry warring in his expression. "Can you replicate the effects?" Elara nodded on the screen. "I believe so. Captain Rodriguez's DNA has been fundamentally altered. With her as a template, We can create a treatment to activate the dormant genes in other subjects. A matter of days to synthesize the first batch. But sir, Ilara hesitated, we still don't fully understand the implications. The power Maya now possesses, it's beyond anything we anticipated. Vance's expression hardened. We're out of time for caution, Doctor. The Zarkan are moving to establish a planetary blockade. If we don't act now, we may lose our window entirely. A series of explosions, closer this time, rocked the bunker. Vance looked off-screen, nodding to an unseen aide. Begin the evacuation. We're compromised. He turned back to Ilara. Get to work, Doctor. Humanity is counting on you. The transmission cut off abruptly. Ilara leaned back, the weight of responsibility pressing down on her. She glanced at Maya, who stood quietly in a corner of the lab, energy still crackling around her. I don't suppose you have any doubts about this, Ilara asked. Maya met her gaze, her glowing eyes soft with understanding. About 1,000. But we've come too far to turn back now. Over the next few days, as their ship made its way back to Earth, Ilara worked tirelessly to develop a treatment based on Maya's transformed DNA. The captain's power continued to grow, her mere presence now enough to interfere with the ship's systems. As they approached Earth, the true scale of the Zarkan invasion became clear. The planet was surrounded by enemy ships, entire sections of the surface scoured by orbital bombardment. How are we going to get through that blockade? Jae-sun asked, eyeing the tactical display with dismay. Maya stepped forward, energy swirling around her. Leave that to me. What followed was a display of power that would be recounted in human history for generations to come. Maya Rodriguez, the first of what would be called the Stellar Born, tore through the Zarkan fleet like a force of nature unleashed. Ships were crushed by invisible forces, weapons fire absorbed and redirected. A path cleared before them as Maya single-handedly created a breach in the blockade. As their battered vessel limped into Earth's atmosphere, Ilara received a priority transmission. Dr. Patel's weathered face appeared on the screen, his expression a mix of relief and urgency. Thank the stars you've made it, he said. We've established a secure facility in the Rocky Mountains. Land there. And hurry. We intercepted Zarkan communications. They're planning something big, some kind of super weapon to end the war once and for all. Ilara's blood ran cold. She glanced at Maya, seeing her own fear reflected in the captain's glowing eyes. Whatever the Zarkan were planning, they had to work fast. The race to unlock humanity's hidden potential had entered its final desperate phase. As their ship descended towards the hidden base, Ilara clutched the case containing the precious treatments derived from Maya's DNA. In her hands, she held the key to humanity's survival and its transformation. The rocky peaks of their new base came into view, and with it, the promise of humanity's last stand. The true battle for Earth was about to begin. Where humans and aliens worked and lived together in harmony, Ilara felt a profound sense of hope. The genetic key had unlocked more than just the potential hidden in their DNA. It had opened the door to a future brighter than any they could have imagined. The stars above seemed to shine just a little brighter, beckoning humanity and their newfound galactic family towards a destiny grander than the precursors themselves could have envisioned. The next chapter in the cosmic story was just beginning, and this time, all sentient life would write it together.